Part 12, the Yoga of Devotion. Once again, Krishna, the Blessed Lord, spake to Arjuna, saying, "Tell me, O Lord, which of those who worship and serve thee, with earnest minds well mastered, as thou hast just mentioned to me, which of such serve thee most worthily and best, which are on the best path, those who worship thee as God in thy revealed form, on the one hand, or those who worship thee as the Absolute, the Unmanifest, the Infinite on the other hand? Which of these two classes of yogis are more deeply versed in yoga?" Krishna: "Those who have concentrated their minds fixedly upon me as God, and who serve me with unwavering zeal and impregnable and steady faith, are regarded by me as being most devoted. But, also, those who worship me as the Absolute, the Infinite, the Unmanifest, the Omnipresent, Omnipotent, Omniscient, the Unknowable, the Unthinkable, the Ineffable, the Invisible, the Eternal, the Immutable, the All, or is that to which similar terms attempting to express similar conceptions of being are applied, such so worshipping, and mastering the mind and senses, and regarding all things in nature as good and deserving to fare well, and rejoicing in the welfare of all, equally verily, these also cometh unto me. The path of those who are attracted by me as the Absolute and Unmanifest is much harder to travel than is that of those who worship me as God manifest, and having form. This absolute conception is most difficult of realization to the finite mind of man. It is most difficult for the visible to realize the invisible, the finite, the infinite, the possessor of qualities and attributes, that which hath neither but yet is above both. And, this also, say I to thee, O Arjuna, that those also who, fixing their minds solely upon me, and seeing in me the actor of actions, worship me single-mindedly without fear or hope of reward, them too shall I raise up from the ocean of change and mortality. Place thy mind firmly upon me, O Prince, and let thine understanding penetrate into my being, and then, of a truth, shalt thou enter into me, hereafter. But if thou art not able to hold thy mind firmly fixed upon me, Arjuna, then seek to reach me by the path of practice and discipline. And if even by practice and discipline thou art still unable to attain, then shalt thou seek me by the path of service through right action. For by the performance of right actions, solely for my sake, shalt thou then attain perfection. And, if even this last task shall be beyond thy powers, then shalt thou follow the path of renunciation, and putting thy trust earnestly upon me, renounce thou the fruit of every action. Better, truly, is wisdom and knowledge than practice and discipline, and meditation is still better than even knowledge, and renunciation is better than meditation, for renunciation of the fruits of action bringeth peace and satisfaction. Verily, I say unto thee, that he is very dear and near to me, who harboureth no malice or ill will to any being or thing, who is the friend and lover of all nature, who is merciful, free from pride and vanity and selfishness, who is undisturbed by pleasure or pain, being balanced in each, who is patient under wrongs and injustice, and who is forgiving, contented, ever devout, with mind, senses and passions ever under control, and whose mind and understanding is ever fixed upon me. He, also, is dear to me, who neither fears the world of men, nor is feared by it, and who is delivered from the turbulence of anger, joy, impatience, or fear, regarding finite things or happenings. And he who desireth nothing, who is just and pure, impartial, free from anxieties, and who hath abandoned all finite rewards or hopes of rewards, is also dear to me. Likewise he who loveth not, nor hateth not, who neither rejoiceth nor findeth fault with world happenings, who grieveth not nor coveteth, who hath renounced both good and evil for sake of me. And dear to me, also, is he who regardeth equally both friend and foe, who sees repute and disrepute as one to the wise mind, who knows cold and heat, and pain and pleasure, to he not one more desirable than the other. Such a one also regardeth not solicitously the passing of events, and to him praise and condemnation are the same. He is silent and well satisfied with whatsoever befall him or come to pass in the world, and he hath no particular place of abode in the world, but feeleth at home everywhere in me. He, of whom I have just spoken, is of a steady and equable mind, and devotion is ever manifested by him. He verily loveth me, and I him. He is very dear to me. Yea, they who imbibe this water of immortality, this divine nectar of the teaching, as given by me to thee, O Arjuna, and receive it with faith and devotion, verily, are such dear and exceedingly beloved by me. Thus endeth Part 12 of the Bhagavad Gita, which Part 1, called the Yoga of Devotion,